This is not a troll. True story. What you and your audience need to understand is that there are several and probably most marriages that are thriving and someone is cheating in it, but the other partner doesn't even know it. Now, I've been married for over 25 years and my daughter has caught me cheating twice. Once when she was 16 and another time when she was 20. The first time was in our home, and the second time she saw me out at dinner with a man who wasn't her father. She wasn't the happiest with me, but she never once told her father because I explained how important it is for a person to get all of their desires met. It is 100% possible to cheat and still love your partner. I married my husband because he has most of everything I want from a man. He is strong, protective, caring, and sweet, financially stable, smart, and provides for us. In the bedroom, from day one, my husband has been a bit lackluster. I lie to him and tell him it's amazing, and I don't make him feel bad if it's a quickie. I smile like a wife should and kiss him to sleep. I get my needs fulfilled in that department on the side. So-called girls' night outs, trips, and weekend stays at mom's. Supposedly, I like this little channel you have going. You all say you want the truth, right? Well, I'm going to give it to you straight, no chaser. Most people cheat. It's just how it is. Now, do I think my husband would ever cheat on me? No, absolutely not. I'm everything he's ever wanted. Here's the thing. Whoever is more in lust with the other will be less likely to cheat. The other may be satisfied in a lot of ways, but if the bedroom is lacking, they will find it elsewhere, especially a woman. The reason my husband has never caught me cheating is because I love him unconditionally. I will never break his heart like that. If I have to lie to my husband to keep him happy, then darn it, that's what I'm going to do. I'm not saying my husband is completely lackluster in bed. We've always had sex at least 3 times a week. Typically once a week, he's an animal with me. It's just that I need that animal instinct every time. And probably more often. So I have guys, 2 of them are married, and I see them when I need it bad enough. Usually once or twice a month. I've gone on vacations with other men where the sex was often and every day for days, and my husband and daughter believed I was on a girls' trip. There's nothing wrong with cheating if you truly keep it a secret and make sure you're dealing with clean people. I would lie across a bed of nails for my husband. I love him more than anything, so don't jump into these comments and try to shame me. I imagine this channel is for true real-life situations. Only correct? I'm telling you all the truth. The truth isn't always flattering. The first time I was caught cheating was in my home, and the second was while out for dinner. So when my baby girl was only 16, she decided to skip school and come home early. She thought no one would be home because usually I'd go on a hike or to Zumba classes and do some shopping or run errands. This was actually the first time my friend came over to my home because usually we'd get a hotel or at his home we'd have our time together when his wife was away. So my daughter comes in with her friends, and they all were standing outside in the hall when my daughter yelled from the doorway. She knew my husband. Her father was away on a work trip. She knew exactly what was going on. She cried saying, "How could I betray dad like this?" I asked my friend to leave and he was pissed, even cursed in front of my daughters because he couldn't finish. I actually never saw him again. You don't talk like that in front of my baby. I sat my daughter and her friends down and explained to them that it's not always a bad thing to cheat. Our family is great and happy, and I told her friends more than likely their parents are cheating as well. It's just life. I offered to make them food, but my daughter's rude friend Roger told me that I stunk and he'd rather wait to eat when he got home. I went up to shower and they continued to do what they were doing down in the basement. The second time my daughter caught me. I was actually out at dinner with a man I saw and still see in a regular basis. He is single and he's 10 years younger than me. He wants to marry me. This particular day after we had sex, he desperately wanted to go out for some food. Knowing that my husband was out of town and we were going to be in a completely different area from the house, I didn't think anyone would spot me. My daughter did, and she approached the table asking what I was doing. I told her just having dinner. She threatened to tell her father and demanding I tell her the truth about sleeping with my young buck. I told her I have, and she kept her word and didn't tell her father, but begged me to stop cheating on her father. My daughter then asked me a very tough question that I don't have the answer to. My daughter asked me if her father was truly her father. I honestly don't have any idea. Our daughter looks just like me and honestly doesn't look much like her father, but I'm not going to ruin my family. I told my daughter, of course, I'd never stoop that low. My husband is one happy man. Even though I step out, I never turn him down when he wants it. I am at his beck and call. I am under him, and I understand that. My husband has told me no when I ask to take a girls' trip or girls' night out. This is why people like myself have a roster. Everyone's not going to be available every time. I'm also close with my husband's colleague and wife. His wife does the same. I've introduced her to some guys and vice versa. Some may ask if I'm a religious woman, and if so, I'm doing wrong. I am a believer, and we attend a non-denomination church. Just like everyone else in the world, we all pick and choose what we want to follow. I bet you all believe I steal my husband's money or give it away to some young buck who handles me well in bed. Nope, not at all. In fact, every dime that I earn with my clothing business, I buy and resell clothes, and I'm pretty successful with it. Every dime I earn goes into my husband's bank account. He manages our finances. I know I'm going to be good and taken care of. No need for me to herd money and be sneaky with it. My husband is amazing with stocks. He's a big-time investor. He's always been great with money. The reason I married him. Every woman wants to be taken care of, and we want to have kids with a man who can provide for a family. That's my husband. He's been the same way since the day I met him. Now, when I initially met him, I fell in love immediately. I didn't know he was successful as he is. This is how I knew I would marry him, and I loved him when we had sex. The first time. It was absolutely horrible. It was some of the worst I've ever had up to that point. Now it's not the fact that my husband is not well endowed. What you guys don't understand is that doesn't always matter unless it's really small, but I've never met a man that was too small. But I've met several men that just didn't know what they were doing and they weren't aggressive enough. They were trying to be gentle and sweet kisses, but passionately, yes, that's fine, the passionate kissing. But it's okay to be aggressive and rough. Some men just don't know how to be. There's other men who yank you up by your hair and do the things that most women dream about. If any of you men listening who seem to dislike women or aren't happy with women and how they are, go to your sister, if you're close to her, or go to a female family member and ask them how do women prefer to be treated in the bedroom. I guarantee you they will tell you what I'm telling you all. There's a lot of you men who have been cheated on before, and I guarantee you, you're not aggressive enough in a lot of areas. Or it could be maybe lack of money, insecure. It could be a lot of things, but I bet you that's a reason. A lot of you are having trouble with relationships. I can see people hearing this right now saying, oh, she doesn't know what she's talking about. She's a piece of crap, this and that. I'm telling you the truth. You're just lacking something that's the only reason a woman would cheat. If my husband was an animal in bed like I want him to be, I'd have no reason to sleep with anyone else. Why? We're financially taken care of. He's sweet and caring. He's everything I want plus an animal when I want him to be. Then why in the world would I need to cheat on him for? I wouldn't cheat on him with a celebrity. A lot of people are with others they aren't compatible with. Mainly my husband has a lot of what I want. But that one thing, and I figure out a way to get that one thing that I want without hurting my family or my husband. And it's been working for a long time for me. And I know several other people, even men, do this to their wives. It's not that big of a deal. True story, one last thing. I listened to other stories on this channel, and I did discover that you have another channel, but I've only listened to the True Story Epic channel. I noticed that. You only seem to think that women cheat. I have news for you. The main cheaters are men. No one can deny it. Men cheat way more than women. If someone wants to battle me with facts, and we can do so live on True's channel. But True, I think it wouldn't hurt for you to provide some stories of men cheating. I'm sure there's plenty out there. I'm sure there's plenty men that would love to write it. Why don't you share those stories? Are you scared that you'll run off your audience? Primarily men? Just asking if you can answer that for me on top of giving your thoughts. Thanks, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Well, to begin with your question, why I don't do male cheating stories. This channel didn't start off that way. I started off, well, my main channel. I told my story. The people that came here and pretty much supported and wanted their stories told were other men. So it made complete sense to keep the channel what it originally started as. I've had emails from people specifically just saying, hey, you should just do men cheating stories as well, because men cheat too, and they were from women. And just like I told them, why don't you just start a channel and do those stories? Like, if you want to hear those stories, do them. They're all over on forums. You can read stories online of men cheating and everything. I don't think it's kind of messed up to go to someone's channel and tell them you should do this. Like, if I'm not asking, you need to do this, you need to do that. Why? But at the same time, yes, I appreciate the story. At least you sent a story on top of your question. Guys, I've gotten a lot of emails from women that would just ask me that very question. But your story, you're a piece of crap. I don't know where your line of thinking comes from. Oh, I cheat on him, but he doesn't know, and it's fine. And your daughter, the fact that she hasn't told her father, and she's caught you twice, once at dinner and in the home, is messed up, man. You guys see how they stick together? No matter what. I'm not going to tell my dad that he's being cheated on, and you're saying, oh, my husband's happy as ever. He's the happiest man in the world. You can't tell him nothing. Why would I ruin that for him? You married him for his money. Here's the thing about your logic and your thinking. Your husband loses all his money. In return, and because of that, he gets a little mean. He's frustrated. He's not as sweet and caring anymore. What happens? You leave him. You then find a way to pocket all that money you're making and take some of his and run off and leave him because he's lacking things. You don't truly love him. Stop acting like you do, because you don't. And you know you don't. Sitting here pretending like you love this man and you just have the greatest life is messed up. I wish there was a way to contact him. Like, dude, look how your wife is just bragging about sleeping behind your back, and she's been doing it your entire marriage, and your daughter might not be yours. So messed up, man. Guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments. If you want to send in a story, send it to truestorynation@gmail.com. Here, I'll put it on the screen. That's truestorynation@gmail.com. I'm going to catch you guys at the next one.